What's going on, Toy Fam? Project Piper Customs here, aka Ben, and yeah, I just wanted to turn on the camera and give you a little update as to how things are going and updates on the channel. Obviously, if you haven't seen my posts from of recent, either on Instagram, Facebook, or even on the community tab here, yeah, sadly my father passed away on the 12th of November after a 6-year-long battle with lung cancer, and we were able to lay him to rest on the 2nd December, finally. Yeah, so this is the reason why the channel has had to be on pause from content and live streams, and kind of reason why the live streams have been a bit sporadic throughout the year. Whenever we've had to cancel one, more often than not, is because my old man ain't doing well and I've had to attend to him. So yeah, and sometimes why there's a break in the content, because I've been dealing with that. But sadly, this whole year has been really rough on me and my family, and especially the last couple of months have been absolutely awful. So this is why I had to devote my time to that. I couldn't indulge the very thing that I used to escape all of that, which is doing toy photography, doing customs, and being on YouTube. So just to update you on the reasons why there's been a lack of content, but also this video is 100% a massive thank you to everyone who has reached out for their kind words and condolences. It's meant the world to me, the amount of love that's come my way. So obviously I put a toy photography shot on my Insta and on here, the first bit of content creating of any kind that I've done in the last couple of months, and I'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, the amount of people that reached out with not only condolences for me, but their own stories about the pain that they've had to deal with a similar situation with their loved one, and how they've turned to this hobby as an escape. And it's good to know that I'm in good company. Not the best of circumstance company, but I am in much needed great company. And you know, I try and make an effort to surround myself with the best people. Okay, so I've also got my family, my friends back home, my team, my Turtle Talk team, my crew, who I love more than anything. I've got obviously Tom, Pietro, Maverick, and you guys. Everyone, Instagram, Facebook, and on here. Didn't want any jump cuts in this, but I just got interrupted, but here we are. So what I wanted to do is to say that if any of you out there who are going through something similar with a loved one in their pain, and you're hurting massively because of it, obviously, with the amount of love that I've had from this community is unreal. So I'm urging you, if you are really in a pickle, or if you're in a bind, or if you just feel empty and you don't know what to do with yourself, please reach out to me. I will happily take the time and talk to you about whatever you want. If you want to open up about the pain that you're going through, get it off your chest and vent, or if you want the complete distraction, we can just talk shop and just talk about this hobby and have a laugh. You know, whatever it is, I don't mind. Just hit me up, okay? And I promise you, I'm happy to chat to you and help you through whatever it is you're going through, because this community did for me, okay? Because it got to the point where this hobby is my escape. I couldn't get to my escape because the thing I'm escaping just took over, you know? But unfortunately, you know, I'm not letting it go. This is all I have, as sad as that is, in terms of a way of distracting myself and keeping me going. But yeah, so going on the post itself that I put on Instagram, if you didn't see it, it's fine, or the community tab, same post. That picture of the turtles standing over Splinter is kind of like sort of my tribute of expressing my pain. And you know, my father knew how massive you know, how much turtles meant to me. You know, he was the ones that bought me the first Playmates, you know, back when I was a kid. He bought me VHS cassettes of the turtles. He fueled my love for it. And I've told this story before on a live stream, but it was a while ago, but I'll tell it to you now, and it's one of my favourites. Is I remember as a kid, he took me to Blockbuster Video. We were there to rent a movie. I cannot for the life of me remember what movie it was, but I think we were just in there to browse, to pick one out, and we're going past all the aisles, and on the end of this particular aisle was stock of the Playmates party wagon in their boxes at the end of the gondola. And I looked past and thought, wow, Blockbusters are stocking these? It's crazy. That just blew my mind alone. But I thought that's really, really cool. I'd wanted it. I didn't have it. But I did not think for a second that it was going to be bought there and then. So just appreciated it and walked that very aisle that they were on. I walked down that aisle. And I'm halfway down the aisle and I'm looking at the titles. And all of a sudden, something hits my foot. And I look down, and it's the party wagon box. And I'm like, what on earth is this doing at my feet? So I look at my old man, and he's just standing there smiling. He's still at the end of the aisle. He had seen me walk by, admire it, and he knew how much I loved it, and just seen me walk past it to carry on with the evening. And in that moment, he decided, no, I'm going to get it for him. And he picked it up and he slid it across the whole floor straight to my feet. And I'll never ever forget that. Just the look on his face. No doubt he just wanted to see the look on my face. And all I remember is the look on his face. And that was the kind of guy he was. And it's kind of the reason why Turtles is my favourite IP. So I had to do something with those for this shot. And basically the caption in it, and I explained in it how none of this would have happened without him. He is behind all of this, Project Piper Customs. Okay, when he was first diagnosed, that's when I got back into collecting again, as a way of distracting myself. And then during his chemo treatments, he would be at home bored, and he got obsessed with steampunk. He loved it. And then he got obsessed with watching people sculpt steampunk on YouTube. And then he decided to buy a load of gear and give it a go himself. And he got good at sculpting. Not necessarily steampunk, but just sculpting. And after a couple of weeks, he had already made an awesome couple of bits. And seeing that sort of inspired me. I've always been a creative person. I used to draw quite a lot. I don't really enjoy drawing quite, now. I've sort of fallen out of love with sketch drawing. But I still had the creative bug, and I hadn't had an outlet for a while. So I thought, the old man seems to be enjoying sculpting. I'll give it a go. And I'll give it a go on action figures. And that little seed right there led me down the rabbit hole of Glenn Webb, led me down the rabbit hole of Cosplay Chris, and they essentially fueled my entry into customizing. But what planted the seed was my dad. It's because of his diagnosis I got into collecting, and it's because of him with his sculpting that turned me to customizing. And when I got to customizing, I was doing it for a bit, getting better and better, getting more used to the different techniques, learning, loving it, and obviously putting my work on my private Instagram account. Decided I didn't really want it on that account, and then that birthed Project Piper Customs Instagram, and started getting a following on that, and that led me into the community, which is where I met tons of amazing people. It's where I met Tom, it's where I met Rick, it's where I met Pietro, it's where I've met all the guests that you've seen on the channel, and ultimately all the way down to right here, right now, where I've met you. Okay, and once I had amassed a following on Instagram, doing YouTube was his suggestion as the next sort of step forward. And at the time I was like, I really want to try it, but I don't know if right now was the time. So I didn't right there and then. It was quite a few months afterwards before I actually turned on the camera and gave it a go. But the idea for YouTube, for this channel, was him. All of it. Project Piper Customs would not exist without him. And of course, because of him and starting this channel, I got to meet you guys. Okay, and I cannot thank you enough for deciding to hit that subscribe button and give me a shot. okay, for enjoying the content, even ones who have been rocking with me from the start, from the very first video. Weren't very good, but seeing my efforts in production to try and make each video better and better and better, with the different kinds of content on here, and of course starting live streams. For those of you who are rocking up for the Turtle Talk live streams, I love every moment of doing those shows and try and make them as entertaining as possible. We're always trying to get topics together to talk about, and we'll try and get guests on as well, and just to make it an entertaining watch, because in the day you're just watching me, a twat, in a room with a bunch of action figures talking shit. Okay, so I've got to make it as entertaining as possible, and I hope I do that for you, especially with the custom cave and toy photography videos. Okay, so with that, okay, now that we've gotten over the hurdle of the funeral, I can let the healing begin, and the healing starts with getting back on the grind with this. Okay, so we are coming back. Okay, I've got a bunch of projects lined up. I have the beginner's guide series, which I need to finish. There's only a couple more episodes in it, but I do intend, I may not get it finished by this year, but I do intend on getting another episode out before the end of the year. Okay, I have about 2 or 3 custom cave projects. One I've done, and I just need to wrap up filming, which is, if you've seen my Instagram, alright, it is the Sid version of Danny Pennington. Alright, the loot crate. We finally got our loot crates in the UK. Okay, but I wanted to make this version, giving him the old leg extension, and of course created the Sid t-shirt. Alright, so I've got a custom cave on the way revolving that. Got a couple of other ones on the way. Progress with Tatsu is really ramping up. Me and Rick are doing some great work, and I cannot wait to get that finished and to show you guys. I think you'll really enjoy it. Alright, and then when we hit 2022, I'm taking this channel into overdrive. Okay, not just with the amount of videos, because I'm still hindered on time, I still have the same schedule, but the different projects that I want to work on, the different things I want to have to do with the live. And once we get the beginner's guide series finished, and then we're taking it up a notch with toy photography. Alright, so I've got some great things I'm working on and that I want to work on in 2022 for this channel. Alright, so just to give you an update as to how I am currently, me and my family, we're doing okay. We're not great. Alright, we're not great, but we will be. Okay, as we have the ultimate therapy, which is this. Alright, the hobby, the projects, and you. Alright, so thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you so much for all the kind words again. And like I said before, if you're in any sort of anguish, if you're in a similar situation to I was in or still am in, reach out. Just reach out and I'll chop it out of you any way you want. Get your mind off it, or if you need to vent, let me know. Alright, all my Instagram handles and everywhere you can DM me, in Facebook, Instagram, whatever, email, comment on this. It's all going to be down below in the description. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Okay, I don't want to chew your ear off too much. But yeah, we'll be kicking Turtle Talk live back again next weekend. Hopefully, we're going to try and just do one big massive catch up, because there's a lot's happened. Okay, we've been seeing it all, but we haven't been able to talk about it all, and we want to. Okay, so we're going to do a big catch-up episode, possibly even throw in our top 5 or top 10 figures of the year, and then we might then break for Christmas and New Year, let everyone chill and rest and enjoy that holiday season, and then we're going to come back strong in 2022. Okay, so just wanted to give you an update on where things are at the moment, how I'm doing, and to say massive thank you to everyone to helping me through this difficult time. It means the world. I love you. Take care.